Hi, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 1st to the 15th, 2024 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, and it gets this channel seen by the YouTube algorithm. So thank you so very much for doing so. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading. So we are crowned by the High Priestess, reverse. Then we have the Ten of Cups, which I love that. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. We then have the Sun. Oh, also brilliant. We have the Seven of Wands, and we have the Ace of Cups. Okay, this is a really nice reading, so good job, guys. Okay, so let's look at things as they appear right now. We're going to have a bit of difficulty during this time, kind of seeing things outside of the box and outside of kind of the way that we want to see things. And we can see this especially if we're born on the cusp with Aries, because Aries had much more strongly this energy coming forward. So do be mindful about this with the High Priestess crowning this reading being reversed, meaning the veil is being lifted from our eyes, but we can find it very disconcerting, uncomfortable. The way that we are starting to look at things, the way that we are starting to move forward, the way that we are starting to see things in a different light. And that could be something we have a lot of resistance to. So do be mindful about this during this time. But we do have the Sun in this reading, which is the happiest card in the whole entire deck. That coupled with the Ten of Cups, which is, and they all live happily ever after, and the Ace of Cups is God's source spirit. However you see the divine, the universe handing you a gift of love and compassion and beauty really coming forward. That's going to be absolutely like breathtaking during this time. With the Seven of Wands, the Seven of Wands saying, hey, listen, be mindful. We will have a tendency to be more combative than we really want to be. So just be aware of this. This can hold us back from really achieving or really letting go and embracing where we want to be for ourselves. So what I'm seeing is almost a sense of one thing we're going to be fighting is our own psychic development, our own empathic development, our own, stepping into the spiritual, whether that be in orthodoxy or an unorthodoxy. That's going to be something we battle with, but it's going to be really important to ourselves stepping into this energy. So if we're already very, kind of spiritual, psychic, empathic people, we could be diving deeper and being like, is there even time for this? Do I have time for this meditation? Do I have time for this connection? So just be aware of this during this time. That's going to be very important for us. With the High Priestess, the veil is being lifted from our eyes, but there's almost a sense of like, no, I don't want to see it that way. Like, I want to see it like this. I don't want to see it like that. So just be mindful about this too. There's going to be something that presents, there we go, itself. And we're going to have energy around us that wants to prevent it from coming forward. So being aware of this is also going to be important. Our energy with the Seven of Wands, always the way I always describe it. And if you've been here before, okay, first of all, welcome and thank you for being part of this family. But secondly, you know that the Seven of Wands is like holding a clenched fist. It's exhausting. Holding a clenched fist, just do it. Just do it for a little bit. It's tiring. I mean, my hand hurts just doing that for not even a minute, a few seconds. If our energy is always like that, how can we have the flow of creativity? How can we step into, wonderment and joy and insight and all these things that make life worthwhile? So just be mindful about this during this time, because we've been trained. We've been trained with the way the world works and the way that we've, gone through everything and had to experience everything, that, okay, you're going to be waiting for the next shoe to drop. You're going to be waiting for the next battle to come. And it's just too much. So do be mindful about this during this time. Let's look at what Spirit has to say. Now, if you are interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a snowflake in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random and announced on the 1st of February, which is in bulk, which is very exciting. And I just realized this, so that's awesome. And don't be scammed by anybody contacting you in the comment box. It will not be me saying like, hooray, you won. Everything will be announced in the video, and all the instructions will be in the video and in the comment box. So just be aware of this. So good luck to everyone. And if you're interested in purchasing a private reading, a private personalized meditation, or a healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. So let's see what Spirit has to say, angels and spirit guides. This is clarity. It's interesting, because even though we have a blocking around our third eye, a blocking around the High Priestess, kind of delving deeper into the unexplainable. There's a lot of clarity that's going to be coming forward for us, and a lot of insight, a lot of new ideas that are going to be leading us forward. That's going to be very important for us. And it's also going to be very like, oh, there's going to be a lot of aha moments, light bulb moments, insightful moments during this time. And that's going to be very exciting. Let's see what our chakra energy is. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides. Okay, so we have the throat chakra and the solar plexus chakra, but also here with clarity, I was just looking at this. There's the dragons around her. We have the dragon up here, and we have the dragon over here, and we have the dragon on her shoulder, 3 dragons. We are going to see that divinity gives us 3 dragons to slay. 3 things that we need to overcome that are holding us back and that are keeping us from the place that we want to be. So do be aware of this during this time, and there's going to be more clarity. Now, it doesn't mean that we have to slay them slay means kill, but I mean, it is overcoming those dragons. So it can be that they become our pets if that's what we like, or we get to live in harmony with them. But it's going to be taking that fear, taking that thing that holds us back, and we're going to be saying, no, that's not the way I'm moving forward. Now, with life purpose, I love it when life purpose comes forward, and then personal power with the solar plexus. So our throat chakra, when I usually think of our throat chakra, I always used to think of just simply talking. Like, that's what the throat chakra is, right? But it's communication. And it is also where our thyroid is held in our throat. So if we hum, if we, chant, if we embrace that type of energy, if you're having a panic attack, right? If you hum, that can really start to help calm you down. It helps the breathing. It helps regulate the breathing. So here with life purpose, when we're embracing our throat chakra, we're embracing our words. What are we saying to ourselves? What are we frustrated about? What is holding us back? What is it that we are aggravated about? And we talk about it. And we have to talk about it, because if we don't talk about it, we just shove it deep, right? It eats away at us. But if we talk about it, and we talk about it too much, like there's this fine balance where all of a sudden we start to speak our upset, our difficulties, our chaos, and we speak it into a bigger existence. And Spirit is saying here, what is your life purpose? What is it that you desire? Where is it that you want to be? What is it that you are longing for during this time, and yet also afraid of? So being aware of this is going to be a super important thing. It moves us then to personal power. This is our solar plexus chakra. This is trusting our gut. This is also trusting ourselves. We're going to be looking at things and finding a determination, a focus, an insight that we hadn't felt before. We hadn't, really kind of leaned into before. And now we're going to be looking at things and saying, wow, I'm stronger than I thought I was. Like, I'm more powerful than I gave myself credit for. So let's look at the energy that we have to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. So we have to, again, which is really interesting that we have Aquarius energy coming forward. We have the star. The star is Aquarius energy. We also have the King of Swords, which is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So it can be that we have a bit of a difficulty, a quite powerful difficulty within an Aquarius, or with that time frame, which is January 20th to February 18th. So it's pretty much, the whole time frame that not pretty much, it is the whole time frame that we're talking about. It can be a more stressful time for us for one reason or another. It's going to be a very successful time for us, but it can be a stressful one. So being aware of that is going to be super important. But also knowing here that there can be somebody who has pretty strong delusions that are moving things forward, okay, or that they're living in, and that's impacting your life in one way or another. Now, be mindful if it's your own delusions, because sometimes the imagination of things or the wanting of things can be more than what is going on right now. So we all get caught up in, oh my gosh, I'd love to be in a relationship with this person, or I'd love to have this job, or I'd love to do this, or I'd love to do that, right? And it's simply the realm of thought. It's not the realm of it actually being. So just be aware that that can become all-consuming during this time, and we don't need that energy coming in. It's going to be so important to be in the here and the now and embracing what we love, and embracing our passion, and embracing our determination, embracing our focus. The King of Swords reversed, not just being air sign energy, it is also an energy of being hypercritical of ourselves. So being mindful about this is going to be super important. It can be being hypercritical of ourselves. It can be somebody being hypercritical of us, or us being hypercritical of others. So just be mindful about this during this time. Somebody's also going to want to steal away your dreams. Okay, steal away what is really sacredly important that you manifest, build forward. So be mindful about this as well. Now, let's look at the astrology of this time in correlation with the tarot. On the 1st of February, we have the moon in Scorpio squared Pluto in Aquarius. Be mindful of struggles over power and control. All right. Don't get stuck in drama. Very much what we're seeing in the energy to be mindful of, and keep your cool. Keep your cool, keep your calm. This is a time to really look at happiness and love. Really let yourself shine coming forward. On the 20th of February, we have Mercury in Capricorn, sextile Neptune in Pisces. Maximizing our imagination is going to be so important. We need to work in the creativity, like on the creativity, in creativity, whether it be our hobbies, whether it be, personal projects that we have, whether it be our career in and of itself that's creative, but really letting that creative energy show. For one reason or another, with the High Priestess reverse, we are really apprehensive of diving deeper, of like going even deeper into our creativity, into our passion, into our prosperity. So being mindful of this is going to be super important, because this is a time where we can just like rocket forward. I mean, we can see ourselves moving forward in ways that are just astounding. So be aware of this. On the 3rd of February, we have the moon in Scorpio, sextile Mercury in Capricorn. We are going to keep ourselves busy with projects that are going to entertain our mind, going to entertain ourselves, and we're going to explore new information. We're going to be really looking at things to be like, how do I dive deeper into this? How do I keep myself entertained? Like, what am I going after? On the 4th of February, we have the moon in Sagittarius squared Saturn in Pisces. We have little patience for anything that requires discipline. So be mindful about this. We aren't going to be the most disciplined. Being aware, we are going to be much more comfortable during this time, going off of the realm of feeling, going off of the realm of passion. So being aware of this is going to be super important. If we have anything that we need to be disciplined about, that we really need to hunker down and get done, try not to do it around the 4th. Like, try to schedule it another time. If it's a meeting, if it's like a big project, if it's a reset of something, resets you can't really always, schedule at different times, but just be mindful. If you can choose the 4th, or, the 5th or the 3rd, choose the 5th or the 3rd. Okay. That's going to be really, yeah. The 5th was actually going to be a little bit better. We'll get to that in a moment. So just be aware about that. We need to give ourselves time to get things done on the 4th. So just be aware, like, give yourself extra time. Don't be so harsh on yourself, and give yourself a break. Don't be so demanding. Like, this is going to be a time where it's like, okay, I'm going to get done less, and that's okay. On the 5th, we have Mercury entering into Aquarius, which can be a little bit tricky for us because we have the Aquarius energy reversed. So be mindful about this. Mercury moving into Aquarius, it brings sudden insight. It brings unconventional thinking. It has us thinking outside of the box. It has us being really creative, but also it's going to help us really embrace change, really look at things in a new light, in a new way. We also have, excuse me, excuse me. I do apologize. We also have Mercury in Aquarius conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. Our focus is going to be intense on the 5th. We are unrelenting. We are just like dogged. We are like a dog with a bone on the 5th, going to get things done, especially with work. Be mindful of being a bit of a workaholic, burning the candle at both ends during this time. All right. We can make changes for the future, but it's almost like we become hyper focused, hyper fixated. So be aware of this. We're going to need to pay attention to our flashes of intuition, flashes of premonitions are even coming our way. We're not really going to have the proclivity during this time to do it. We're going to really say, okay, where are all the facts? Like, we really, really want our facts during this time. And we kind of have to fight that a little bit and let our intuition, let our instinct guide us, because we can really squelch our creativity or the insight that comes our way during this time. So being aware of this is going to be super important. On the 6th of February, we have the moon in Capricorn trine Jupiter in Taurus. Our outlook is going to be very optimistic. We're going to have a tendency to look on the bright side. We have the sun here. This can be a very optimistic, very, bright, happy, positive time, even though it's a time that can be stressful for one reason or another. You can be dealing with somebody who is stressful, but you're going to shine. Just know you're going to shine. On the 7th, we have Venus in Capricorn trine Uranus in Taurus. Now, we're going to see the way that we deal with others going to be improving. This is going to be a time where we can see our social circle open. We can see, us making new networks of friends and connections. And also we're going to really like improve our relationships with things. It's like, okay, what's important to me? And it's going to be people, because it's going to be what we love, really that, and they all live happily ever after. It's that sense of I am moving forward in love and in brilliance and in shining, and just be mindful not to be combative, because we can be. All right, so just be aware of this. Now, Mars is going to be in Capricorn, sextile Neptune in Pisces, also on the 7th. And this is going to this is going to really bring the initiative in creative ventures. This is going to make us very creative. It's going to make us inspired. We're going to see our imagination just kind of go through the roof and guide us forward. Again, opening up to our angels, opening up to our spirit guides, opening up to that deeper sense of intuition is going to open the doors for us in ways that are just astounding. And it's going to be like, oh, I didn't expect this. So being aware of this is going to be really, really, really important. Our intuition needs to guide us. And yet we are going to have a resistance to that. So again, not to harp on it, but just to let us know here, Taurus, that it's going to be important. On the 8th of February, we have the Sun in Aquarius squared Jupiter in Taurus. It is easy to give in to impulse on this day. So just be mindful. Just be mindful to try and avoid doing that. We're going to really want to just indulge ourselves. It's going to be it's very gluttonous. This day can be very gluttonous. We can eat a lot of rich foods. We can do a lot of overspending. We can do a lot of really treat yourself type of thing. And in the moment, it's going to feel so good. It really is. It's going to feel so good to just be so absolutely indulgent. But afterwards, it's going to be like, oh gosh, like, oh my gosh, seriously? So just be mindful about this. We are also going to find that on the 8th, with the Sun in Aquarius squared Uranus in Taurus, we're going to look at things, and we're going to want to kind of like divert ourselves by shopping, by indulging. So just be mindful about that, by excess in one way or another. But we're going to see that also like the heart of the issue of things starts to come up. We're going to start to be like, we are very insightful. It's something that we're trying to like squelch for one reason or another. And yet we're going to see the heart of the issue coming up, and it's not going to be what we expected it to be. It's like, oh, that's why I'm acting this way, or that's what I'm fighting against, or oh my gosh, that's how I view this situation. And it's going to kind of take us by surprise. So do be mindful about this, because there's almost a sense of like, we were taught how to fight. And I don't mean that, we saw our parents fight. I mean, or our caregivers or whomever raised us. What it means is that everything that has happened in our life, we're like, okay, I had to fight for it. I had to fight for it. I had to fight for it. And Spirit is saying, maybe the thing is it's not to fight, but it's to say, I defend what is sacredly important to me. But to stay in a constant state of defensiveness is going to be spiritually, personally, psychically, emotionally, absolutely draining for me. And it's going to take a toll on my body, my soul, and myself. And I'm not doing this anymore. And that's going to be really important. If we're going to see that the cause of it, as it comes to the surface, is like, oh, I didn't realize it was that. One of the helpful things that I've been really looking at with looking into astrology as we've been doing, there's the wound of Chiron. Okay, it's in everybody's natal chart. See where your Chiron is in your natal chart, and it's easy. Like you can do one of those apps that chart out everything. You can do. I think it's like, I don't know if it's astrology.com that has a chart calculator, but you could do the like astrology chart calculator if you just type that into Google, and you can see where your Chiron is. You can have an in-depth chart come forward for you, and for absolutely free. And your Chiron is your original wound. And I like it because it's kind of like original sin. It's like, okay, this is like the burden to bear. Whether you believe in it or not, I don't know. For some reason, I find it comforting. And that wound is what we were put on this earth to overcome. But that wound is what we see all other wounds really building off of. And I see that here. It's like, oh, it started then, or it was from this. And we interpreted it differently. And Spirit is going to show it to us in one way or another during this time that's a lot more simple, a lot more kind of like basic than we want it to be. Like we'd like it to be something like, big and kind of like spooky ooky type of thing. But it's going to be a lot more like, oh, and then we're going to be able to really embrace what we love, really let our heart shine forward. And that's going to be awesome. On the 9th of February, we have the moon in Aquarius squared Uranus in Taurus. We are impatient. just be mindful about this. It's going to be harder to maintain self-control. It's going to be challenging to really embrace, positive energy. So just be mindful about this during this time where it's like, yeah, it's like nails on a chalkboard. It could be like, I just want to pull the covers up over my head and be done with today. So if that's your day, be respectful of yourself and give yourself a break. On the 10th of February, we have Mercury in Aquarius squared Jupiter in Taurus. Again, give yourself a break. This is a day to be lazy. It's not a day where it's like nails on a chalkboard. It's just like, it's almost like, it's almost like having a hangover from the 9th of February. It's like, it wasn't a good day. I don't like it. The energy is still impacting me. Leave me alone. So just be aware of that. Drink plenty of water. Take care of yourself. Embrace your heart. Really do things that make you laugh, that let you embrace what you love. I don't know why. Okay, so Spirit is showing me the show Miranda. Yeah, it's named Miranda. It's this English comedy show. I don't know why it makes me laugh until I cry. I don't know why at all, because I don't usually like English comedy. I don't. I find it a little bit cringy. I'm sorry if you're English or if you like it. As an American, I don't know if something like gets lost in translation, but that show, Miranda, is like my favorite show. One of my favorite shows in the world. I can watch it over and over and over again. I could just sit down and watch it, until the end, like the show is over, like the whole series, all the series have played, and then I could watch it again and not even be bored. So if you have something like that where you just love it and it makes you laugh until you cry, do so. On the 10th, just embrace that. Embrace laughing. Embrace something that just brings you absolute joy. You don't have to understand why, but just let it in. Because again, we have kind of like an emotional hangover. So just be aware. On the 11th of February, we have the moon in Pisces, sextile Venus in Capricorn. We need to bring more balance into our lives. This is going to be really important. And it's going to be easier to do on this day. We're going to be looking at things and saying, okay, this isn't in harmony. This needs to be in harmony. What's going on here? It's going to be easier for us to call things out. And it's also going to make us feel more secure. It's almost like we're emotionally decluttering. And that's going to be a really good thing for us. Okay. So let's see. Let's dive deeper. Hold on 1 minute here. Okay, cool. On the 12th, we have the moon in Pisces, conjunct Neptune in Pisces. We need to be compassionate, empathetic. We have this really strong, compassionate, empathetic, sensitive energy, and we need to embrace it on this day. Let the 10 of Cups shine. Let the Ace of Cups shine. Let the sun shine. It's just going to be so important. We need to connect with others. We need to be understanding for ourselves and for others. And it's just going to help us be like helpful. And we're going to find the more that we help others on the 12th, the better we feel about ourselves. Now, the 13th of February is really preparing us for Valentine's Day, which is the 14th of February, which my nephew calls I Love You Day, which I think is so sweet. So we have Mars entering into Aquarius, which again can be tricky because Aquarius energy is just going to be a little bit tricky for us. Now, Mars is the planet of energy and drive, and it enters into Aquarius and brings enthusiasm, there we go, I can say that word, enthusiasm, motivation. It brings change. It moves us towards our future. It moves us towards the unconventional. We're stepping towards our dreams. And we're really embracing the unusual during this time. It's kind of like, why not try this? Like, why not look at it this way? We also have Venus in Capricorn, sextile Neptune in Pisces. Our relationships can really benefit from a gentle touch on this day, just being kinder and sweeter and calmer. We're all going to see that if we just step into that energy, it's like, oh my gosh, it just feels like the perfect cup of hot cocoa, like a warm blanket being wrapped around you, sitting by the fire. It's like, yes. And if you're in the Southern Hemisphere and you're like, oh my gosh, it's so hot, like, why are you even describing it that way? Then it's like a cool breeze by the pool with the sun, just at that perfect spot where it's not too hot. It's not, it's just fantastic. Like, that's the type of energy that we just want on this day. It's just like that perfect, cozy, refreshing energy. And we're just going to love it. We just need to embrace it. It's going to have us opening up our hearts. We also have really great energy during this time to open up our hearts, but it's also going to have us opening up to ourselves psychically. So I know I'm harping on this, but it's going to be so important for us here, Taurus, and it's something that we don't want to do. And it's like, Spirit's like, why don't you want to dive deeper? And I understand. I totally get it, right? If we dive deeper, it's like, well, how deep am I going to go? Like, where is this going to end? Like, can I handle any more? And Spirit's like, yeah, there's a revelation that's coming that's going to be quite intense. There's an awakening that's coming for a bunch of you Taurians that's going to be really, really, really important. On the 14th, we have Mars in Aquarius conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. The future is really important to us. We're really motivated to take action, really passionate. We are pursuing transformation, and we are really catapulted by our dreams, like what we desire. So just be mindful that, oh, excuse me, that the 14th could be more about achieving goals and setting goals and going after things than it can be about embracing what we love. So just be aware about this. On the 15th, the moon is in Taurus, conjunct Uranus in Taurus, and this is time for a big change. Like whether it's big or it's small, it's going to be super impactful for us, and that's just going to be a really important thing. So embracing change and embracing the positivity of the change for us, or the beauty of the change for us, is going to be a really powerful thing. Our subconscious spirit message is serenity, embracing the calm. It's going to be so easy to be caught up in all the traumas, all the dramas, all the chaos, and spirit's like, embrace the calm. Embrace the calm and let yourself move forward. Yeah, let serenity shine. Let yourself just, I'm hearing like waves, like the ocean, or yeah, just being by the sea, just embracing the calm, being so important. Our subconscious chakra energy is grounding. This is the Earth Star chakra located 6 inches below our feet. We need to look at how we're grounding ourselves, how we're feeding ourselves, kind of planting our feet deeper into the soil. If it's warm enough where you are to go outside and stand barefoot on the ground, that's just going to be so important for us. If it's not warm enough to do that, then just visualizing our roots going into the ground, ourselves, standing tall, as we plant ourselves deeply in the soil that enriches us, that emboldens us, that feeds our soul, our bodies, and our spirit. And it brings us then to our subconscious tarot message, which is the King of Pentacles. And that's us in the Minor Arcana. We are represented by the Pentacles. And this is us coming through as the highest form of the Minor Arcana court cards. And we are going to see ourselves as a king. We are powerful, we are determined, we are a force to be reckoned with, we are bountiful, and we are moving forward in our abundance. And that is just going to be the biggest game changer for us. There's just a real sense of, I know who I am. I know why I'm here, and I am determined to move forward in the grace, in the beauty, and in the power of me. So there's just game-changing energy here. Embrace it. There's wealth, prosperity, what we value as much as money coming forward. And so we're really looking at things, and we're just going to see the game changing. We're just going to see us moving forward in a way that opens up, new ideas to us, new prosperities to us, new bounties, like newness in a way that we hadn't imagined. All right. One more time. All right, Taurus. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So let's end this reading with a meditation. Please note that this meditation will be accompanied with a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Taurus. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.